We're going to do a full body calisthenics workout, and I've thrown various variations in to suit all strength levels, and this is going to become the foundation of how you look, how you feel and how you move. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with rows and then leading into pull-ups. The best way to think of rows is if you stood up, they're easy, and if you're laying down, they can become very difficult. Now, if you don't have access to a pull-up bar, I'll just show you here that you can trap them in a door, set of rings, TRX straps, and then you can obviously build your back at home if you're just starting out with calisthenics and you don't have access to a full pull-up bar. This leads me on nicely to some band assisted pull-ups, which is a great progression to keep working towards that pull-up. And then as your strength builds over time, you'll be able to do the full pull-up. Now, I do 2 to 3 sets of these 2 to 3 times per week, every single week. I do feel like it is one of the most important moves in calisthenics, and it's something that you need to do every single week. Next up, we have push-ups. The best way to think of these, if your hands are higher than your feet, they are easier, and if your feet are higher than your hands, they are harder. So I always like to start with some incline push-ups, and if you're not quite at this level yet, you can obviously drop onto your knees and make them a little bit easier and work your way up until you're strong enough to do a standard push-up. And then you've got the standard push-up. Now on these little parallettes here, you do get a lot deeper stretch. Push-ups are probably the world's best known exercise, and for good reason. Great chest builder, great for core, shoulders, even wrists, and they're obviously used in a lot of fitness tests. And like I said earlier, if your feet are higher than your hands, they become harder. You can just prop yourself up on a bench and do some push-ups like this, and you will be amazed how much more effort it takes in this position to a standard push-up. Swiftly moving on to dips, and if you've got zero equipment at home, you can just use a bench or a side. Again, if the bench is higher, then generally these become easier. So you can start at this level and then you can work your way down onto a lower surface. The trouble with this is the range of motion is less, but it can become more difficult. You've just got to slow the reps down a little bit more. And then as you advance in these, or you get some more equipment, I've got these tall parallel bars which allows me to do dips without having a big gym station in the garden. These are a tough exercise. Again, the main thing I will say with these, slow and controlled, and work your way up as your strength increases, but great for building arms, shoulders, and again, even wrist strength. And that moves us on to the lower body and legs. So for this, we're going to do bodyweight squats. The first thing I'll say with this, if you're training at home with minimal equipment, 8 to 10 reps of bodyweight squats isn't going to do a lot for you. Yes, in the first weeks, maybe a month or two, yeah, you'll see some progress, but after that, you're gonna have to push it. Reps, talking 20, 30, 40, and beyond. If you're just doing bodyweight squats and you haven't got any access to some weight, you could also grab some items, you know, a backpack full of water. I've got a weight vest that I can use, so that is really handy. And if you do want to bring the intensity up and bring your heart into the equation, because these will get you blowing, it's the jumping squats. Now, the amount of extra effort these take is incredible. And then if you want to try different variations and make it a little bit tougher, we can do single leg variations with these single leg step ups. And finishing all this off with core and abs. Now, I try and avoid doing crunches and do stuff like this. So these are leg extensions, and if you want to make them harder, you can bring it into a hip raise as well. And these do add a lot to this exercise. Far superior to just doing endless crunches, and definitely give it a try. And if you do have access to a pull-up bar, I feel like the best exercise you can do are hanging knee raises, hanging leg raises, and then they can progress on to toes to bars, pullovers, and various other ab exercises. So that was the workout, and if you stick to this, I guarantee you're going to see some great results. They are basic moves, they're the foundation of everything. Far too many people overlook these and think they're not worth training. I train these every single week. Trust me, you will get great results from it. And I just want to finish by saying, I've got a completely free community on its way where we're going to cover form tips, how to structure a workout, nutrition information, and we're going to be having prizes to be won, which means there might be a 30 to 60 day challenge that you can join, and there'll be certain criteria where you can score certain points and ultimately get fit and have a chance of winning prizes, and that will be completely free. Now, I'm still building that, so if you want to drop a comment below this video, I will reply to every single person with the link when it's live and you can get involved. And I will see you in the next one.